Recording. So, hi everybody. How are you? Lorrie here on Vancouver Island, and welcome to Techy Tuesday. It is what is it? Excuse me, the 14th of September, and I thought today a good thing to do would be to just kind of look over the list of things that we kind of already covered in these Techy Tuesdays, and then I don't know what we'll do. I don't know what we'll talk about. But yeah, we'll do that first. So let me just get myself out of the way a little bit. Okay, and so we have done TubeBuddy. So if you are using TubeBuddy, then it's got the basics of TubeBuddy, more basics of TubeBuddy, and then how to make TubeBuddy thumbnails as well. So I know there are lots of different things that you can make thumbnails with. TubeBuddy is just, for me, easy and quick. And it may not be, well, I don't know. I don't want to say whether it's the best or not. Use whatever you're comfortable with. We'll play with Photopea is the other program that we really played with last fall. And so we're going to play with that quite a bit more. We did do a basics of Photopea, and then we looked at how to remove the background. We did a little thumbnail from start to finish. We did another lesson on removing the background. I think these were both lives. Any of the ones that are over an hour or are close to an hour are probably a live. And then the other ones will be recorded. I try to keep the lives to not much over an hour. Someday I'll have time to go in and maybe add chapters to it. Maybe I'll make that into a Techy Tuesday and show you guys how to do it as I figure out how to do it, because I haven't added the chapters yet. Anyway, so we have a couple of Q&As. We have a how to avoid scams, and then of course there's me playing with some scammers. That was kind of fun. I don't know if you've seen that yet. It's a video. It's in this Techy Tuesday playlist. What else? Photopea Q&A, how to make a logo, how to organize files. This was more of a basic, just overall how to organize files on your computer. It wasn't specific to any program. It was just specific to having files on your computer. And that actually followed up the how to attach a Google Drive to be able to take what's on your Google Drive from place to place to place, or computer to computer, or device to device, however you want to do that, to be able to use those files in multiple locations. We did that, and we covered that as in a lesson. So I guess what I'm saying is, if any of that stuff is of interest to you, go ahead. Oh, we did go live with StreamYard step-by-step tutorial with missteps included. That must have been me trying to fumble through how to do it, how to add a shape, how to start and save a file, workspace and tool basics, how to remove wrinkles from pictures. That one is always fun. And yeah, so those are some of the things that we did. Isn't that fun? So what should we look at next? Let's go ahead, and I wanted to take you in and look a little bit at, there were a couple of new features. Oh, what were they? I might have to cut this part out because I don't remember what they were. Let me think for a minute, and I will be right back. Okay, so I remembered. Took a few minutes, but I remembered. So one of them was about monetization, and it was about the different kind of ads that you could use or that you were allowed to have. So there's several different things that you can do once you get monetized. You can have memberships, you can have super chats, you can have memberships, you can have ads, and there's an overview. And so that doesn't show you everything, but let me just go to a video and show you the options that come up when you're in your video now. So when you look at your monetization, you can turn it on or off. And here's where you can decide what kind of ads you want. So if I'm going to be monetized and they're going to be playing ads on my channel, I might as well be making something from it. But I was honest with myself, and when I go to somebody else's channel, I have a premium account, and I recommend if you are a content creator, you should get yourself a premium account because then you can just watch whoever you want. You don't have to ever watch ads, and you can share that. Like all three of us in the house are on the same premium account. I think you can have 5 per household, and it's really not that expensive. I think down in the States it's less than $20 a month. So but here you can decide what kind of ads you want. I tell you what, if somebody's ad comes up and they have a 25-minute advertisement before their 5-minute ad or video, I am not watching that advertisement. And, so I totally understand if somebody doesn't want to sit and watch a 25-minute or half-hour ad before they can go and see my content. So I turned off the skippable video ads and I just left the non-skippable video ads on. And so those are the little short ads that are usually 6 to 10 seconds. They might be, I think it's as long as like 20 seconds or something, or 22 seconds or something. So I'm like, okay, that, and then overlay ads, I'm fine with that. Sponsored cards, I'm fine with that. And then the location of the ads was also kind of important to me because I hated it before I got my premium account. I hated it when mid video it would stop and there'd be some ad. That used to drive me. I don't know how many channels I unsubscribed to because of that, because it would just make me angry. So here not that I'm everybody, right? But I'm just one person, and that was how I felt when I was watching before I had my premium account. Like I said, now that I had the premium account, if I have your channel running on the TV for giving you it a little extra time, then I am usually watching as a guest, and I am allowing it to run all the ads and all of that stuff, whether it's a half-hour ad or whatever, right? But if I were actually watching and listening to it and paying attention and not doing a bunch of other stuff, I would be skipping that ad. I would be going to the content and probably leaving a thumbs down. So anyway, that's just me. So that's how I have stuff set up. But I'm not really, I'm not in the game I'm not into the channel to make money. I think it's fun. I think so far since I've been monetized, I'm up to $18 or something. It goes up and down day to day. It goes up and down. It's kind of funny. But anyway, so that's that. And then the other thing, well, let's go and take a look at Photopea again for a minute. Okay, so for today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some Photopea and just kind of familiarize ourselves a little bit more with the layout and where the tools are and what they do and how to access them and how to access their settings and just all that kind of fun stuff. So let's go ahead and start a new project. And what do I want? Let's go ahead and just make a new YouTube profile. So I don't really want any of these templates, although you can certainly start with any one of these that you want to start with. And actually, maybe for today, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and just start with one. So I like... Which one do I like? I love a sunflower. So let's just go ahead and pick that. So now there's a few things that we can look at just right off the bat. So one of the first things that we can look at is our history here. And of course, the only thing in there right now is our open button. And then here on our layers, we can see our different layers. Now, and then we have this strip. We have the background. We have 2 layers of text. And I do believe that we'll have to go in and repair that text because apparently, like, I don't see any text. Do you see any text? I don't know. Do we need to turn it on and off? No. Turn that off. I don't know what that strip is there for. Background on and off. So that's what this little eye here does, is it turns stuff on and off. And, okay. So I actually have the artboard going on here, so that's why it looks kind of weird to me. I'm going to go ahead and grab my move tool instead. And then let's see. Now I like to have up here, you can see I've got an auto select spot and I've got a spot for transform controls. So now when I click on a box, oh, I'm a big fat liar. Okay, well now, okay, so I've clicked on the background and you can see it now has these control little knobby thingies. So I can stretch it. Oh, and there's my text all of a sudden. It just popped right up there. That's a little bit odd, but anyway, there it is. Yeah, so I can see how it turns into a 2-sided arrow. That gives me a spin, and I can put it however I want. And these ones here, if I hover over it and it turns to the 2-sided arrow, I can just drag them. I can do the same at the corners. And now if I want everything to stay in position, I'm going to go ahead and say, no, don't do any of that because that's not really what I wanted to do with this. But if I wanted to keep it symmetrical, I think that's the right word. So it stays the same shape and perception and stuff. I can hold down the shift key on my keyboard. Oh, maybe not. Okay. No, that doesn't do it. Oh, that's weird. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back again on that. Okay. Oh, it's just very sensitive. Okay, yeah. So there. See, I can keep it the same perspective if I want to. If I hold down my shift key and grab it with that white double arrow on the corner, I can size that however I want. And then I can also just grab onto it and move it, right, with my move tool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say no again because I kind of like it right where it is. And apparently I can't click down here to just deselect. I have to go to something else. So let's turn that back on. And you can see that just turns on and off. And it looks like it's got, what exactly is it? It's just a box that's had the opacity. You can see the opacity here is set to 70%. So it looks like it's just a black box where the opacity has been turned down a little bit to allow the background to show through a little bit. And then you have your text, of course. Now, let's have a look. If I click this box, I actually like to keep this character box up. Oh, it's not going to let me drag them. Oh, you little. Anyway. I like to keep this box right handy, but I guess this is handy enough. Anyway, so we've got character and paragraph. So character is the different fonts that you have. And this is kind of nice because it shows you what they are. And you can pick one. It takes a minute to load and change it. I made it really tiny, but I kind of like that. So here's my size. I can drag that up and down. tracking. I can change that if I want. That just kind of stretches the letters, gives a little more room in between them, or you can tighten them up a little bit. I have some special effects, some metallic. What is this? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's all caps, small caps, um, postscript, underline, line through. I'm just going to go back to normal. And I'm going to go a little bit smaller so it fits in that box. And then I'm going to come over here and click on it, drag it down just a touch. You can see I'm just clicking in there and dragging it down. Okay, so that was fun. So then let's actually edit this text. So we have this text here. So down along here, these are our tools, remember. So we're going to grab our text tool. We're going to grab our type tool. And we're going to come here just kind of right in the middle. And I'm going to double click. I only picked one word. What happens? Okay, let's try a triple click. Okay, so I can try a triple click and that'll select all of it. And I can, what do I want to say? Is this real life? Is this just a fantasy? I don't know. Let's say this is a fantasy. And then again, I'm going to click this up here. I'm going to come back here and grab my move tool. And now I've got these settings here again, where I can make changes here. And what do I want? I don't think I want this, even without seeing it. I don't think I want this. Well, not as horrible as I thought it would be. Anyway, you can also, like again, you see how that cursor changes when I put it over a line. So you can stretch these, you can spin them. Hit OK on that. And let's come back to text. So you also have, when you have your text, you also have this warp up here, which can be kind of fun. And let's see, here's our different styles. So we can, let's give it a bulge. You can adjust the bend here. I don't want it to be quite that. You have distortion that you can play with. Right, so whatever you want. Now, it's important always to remember that if you're doing this for professional reasons, or you want, I mean, it's fun to go in and play with it and stuff, but you need it to be readable. Like that's the biggest thing, right? It needs to be legible and it needs to be readable. So let me just show you a quick difference between. I'm going to go ahead and just say OK on that for now, and we'll just leave that. So let me just show you some examples of how that I could make that just totally illegible. So let's look at some of the fonts. I want something really fancy schmancy. Oh, here we go. Let's do this. Give it a minute. There. Like, well, I guess that's not as bad as I thought it would be. But you can. Oh, let's do a different one. Oh, what's this one? Dr. Sugiyama. Now it's almost the same as the last one. Anyway, you can have too many fonts, and you can go a little too crazy with the effects on them. Let's go back here, and I'll show you some of these other warp effects that we have. We've got the bulge, and we can do an arch. Put a shell on the bottom part. Do a flag. Make a fish. Oops. And then we also, oh, I guess we can do, that didn't do much. But again, like you've got your bend that you can play with. It's not doing much anything. I think because we said okay. Anyway, so there's all kinds of things that you can do with that. And that's where those settings are. It also, you'll notice when I click the text tool, it also up here shows just some regular, like this is what, if I was going to type some new text, this is the font it would use, this is the weight it would use, this is the size it would use, this is the color it would use. What's that? Oh, if I want a stroke or a background for it. And this is the kind of alignment it would use. And then depending on what I want for my crispness or whatever. I wouldn't normally set a warp before I actually put text on, but right. And so then when I start typing here, everybody have fun tonight. And click my little thing, grab my move tool. I can move that. Now I want to, I also have, so over here, now we're just familiarizing ourselves with things, right? So we're not really trying to achieve anything. We're just looking at the various little thingies that we can do. So we have here a free transform and a transform. So these are always kind of fun. So we can rotate. It looks like here are my different rotations. Bilinear. I've never played with this before, so I don't know what it's going to do. Oh, okay, that's just that. I mean, I could spin it anytime I want. Whatever. Let's look at some of the other transform controls I have, though. Scale, rotate, ooh, distort. Okay, distorting is always fun. Why aren't you distorting? Oh, no, I want to do this bilinear, sorry. Oh. Those arrows are very sensitive. Why are you not doing what I want you to do? Oh my. um, Interesting. Everybody have fun. Let's see what happens when I do different things here. Oh, all I have is regular. Can I warp it? I can. Let's ooh, my goodness. I don't know what I did there, but let's go vertical. See what happens. Nothing. Inflate. Fisheye. We'll say okay. We'll say okay. It didn't do anything. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to cut so much of this out. Well, I guess it did. I guess it warped it a little bit. I don't know. I suppose I want to warp a picture instead. Doesn't really give me very many controls when it's just text. How about a free transform? What'll that do? Nothing. Just lets me transform it however I want. I can spin it or size it. That looks like the only things I can do. That's kind of weird. I don't care about that. Okay, so we've looked at selecting tools, and then you can also, whenever there's a little arrow in the corner here, you know that there is a secondary tool there. So, I can either pick a rectangle select, or I can pick an ellipse. Here again, I've got 3 different tools here. Under my magic wand, I've also got a quick selection and an object selection. I've got my crop tools and perspectives and slicing tools. I don't know how often slicing tools would be used much anymore, although they might be. I don't know. I'm not up with all the newest stuff. Anyway, eyedropper and ruler. Um, your Band-Aid and your healing tools. Also, your red eye removal tool, which we never did cover last time, or we might have in the wrinkle tool. We played with some of these different things. Here's your paintbrush. You also have a pencil and a color replacement. There is that a stamp? That is different. Looks like it's a little stamp. I'm going to make it bigger and see exactly what it is. Okay, so then it says blend mode is normal, opacity. Source is going to be the current layer. Oh, okay, I have to pick a current layer and then, okay, and I have to hold my Alt key and pick a source. And then, oh, okay. Smart object must be raster sized. Oh, interesting. So now I have this. Can I put them wherever I want them? Apparently. Okay, so that's interesting. The stamp tool. Apparently you can grab a stamp from whatever. I wonder if you can save the stamp. Save the shape. Do you have other shapes? Oh, define new. Oh, we'll have to look into that. I'm not familiar with stamps. That's kind of cool though. Anyway, what's next? Eraser and a background eraser. Look at our background eraser. I'm going to come up here and make it bigger too. Let's make it huge. And then look at that. Just erases whatever I want it to. Little bits here and there. Here we have a gradient and a paint bucket. So the paint bucket, you just pick your color down here. If you have your hex code, of course, you can enter it here. Or if you know your RGB values or your HSB values. I know RGB is red, green, blue. I have no idea what HSB is. Or you have your hexadecimal code. And then you take your paint bucket tool, click, boom, filled. Fills up the whole background, anything that was missing. Here we have our blur, our sharpen, and our smudge. Again, we have sizes up here. We have shapes. Okay, I don't have any ABRs to load, which means I don't have any extra shapes or anything. But it looks like you can load them. Thumbnails? That didn't help me. Oh, yeah, no, I don't want thumbnails. Or I do want it thumbnails. I don't want it list. Oh, let's change colors here. So you can always go back to the default color by clicking the little black and white squares. And you see they went here. So now, is it going to do anything? Oh, it's blurring. I'm smudging. Okay. There, see what happens when I smudge? on that same, so you can smudge stuff. Say you need to blur something out of a picture or something. How to smudge. Anyway, where are we? Gosh, we've been going for like 20 minutes, plus I have another 10-minute video or something like that anyway. So that's probably enough for today. Let's just really, really quickly wrap up a quick look at these tools. So dodge tool, burn tool, sponge tool. I'm not even going to start explaining those right now because I would be very long and drawn out. Your type tool and vertical type. Kind of looked at those a little bit. Pen and a free pen. Those I'm sure are for writing and for free writing. Path select and direct select. We'll get into that quite a bit later. We've got some shapes and custom shapes that we can add. We've got our hand tool, which just allows us to move things. And then we've also got, it looks like a rotate view. I'm not really familiar. Okay, just rotates it. And we have our magnifying glass, so you can go up. We can hold our Alt key and it will zoom out. And we have our colors, we have our mask tool, and it looks like these are virtual keys. Interesting. No touch. Ah, that didn't seem to give me anything. I still have my magnifying tool selected. Anyway, so there. Now we've looked at the tools a little bit. We've looked a little bit over here at the layers. We've looked at our history. Let's see how far our history goes back. Oh dear. Doesn't go back far enough, does it? There's our smudge tool. I wonder. Oh dear, that's not good. Usually you can always go back to open, but apparently you can't do that with this. You can only go back so far. It's not letting me go up any further than that. Oh well, I'm not going to bother saving it. I am. Let's see, let me just close that. Say okay. I don't care about saving it. Let's come over here and can I make myself bigger? There we go. I'm going to say thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me and playing in Photopea. It is, I do find a few little differences here and there between it and Photoshop. I haven't played a whole lot in Photopea yet, so thanks for bearing with me as I figure out what it can do and some of the new features that I'm not used to with my older versions of Photoshop even. So yeah, this will be fun. So we'll be back again next week and we'll do some more in Photopea. If you have suggestions or questions or things that you're struggling with in this kind of environment, just let me know and we'll definitely take a look at it. Next week, I think we'll look at how to use some of the different selection tools and what we can do with those. And then, what else are we going to do? Maybe undo some actions, maybe play with our history palette a little bit more. We don't necessarily need to learn how to sorry. Totally getting distracted by the book. This is an old book. It really is. It's back from when I was very first learning how to use Photoshop. It does have some cool things that really still apply, and I think it would be good if we kind of have a look at all of them. So we can go through all of these tools a little bit again as well, and I can maybe, here's a quick little explanation of a bunch of them. So we'll do that too. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with me on Techy Tuesday and bearing with me as I fumble through this. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. Take care of yourself. Until next time. Bye now.